In this video, we will go over the Cash In menus of Cash module. In Accounting 1, Cash In section, you can find various menus where you can process cash increases. And we will not discuss Receipt Journal menu in this video, so please refer to the Fast Entry Receipt Journal video. So firstly, we will discuss From Employee menu. You can use this menu when you receive the money that you temporarily provided to your company's employees as provisional payments in cash or your bank account. The amount entered in this menu will be journalized by advances to employees' account. So, for instance, if you paid money to an employee for business trip expenses, after the actual expenses have been settled, you will receive the money left from the originally paid amount. Then you can enter the corresponding data in this menu. You can first set the voucher date and enter a department or project code if you manage data by each department or project. In Deposit Account field, select whether you received cash or whether the money was deposited in your bank account. You can click the magnifying glass and load the corresponding code. In Employee field, select the employee code for settlement. And in Amount field, enter the amount you received. And if there was any bank charge, enter the amount in Fees field. And you can enter short notes in Remarks field. And click Save or Save and Print to save the entered data. Save button will save the data in a voucher. And Save and Print button will save the voucher and at the same time display the preview screen in a pop-up window. You can print out the preview screen or export it in PDF. And also, if you want to change the default journal entry account of From Employee menu, you can click Option at the top right and click Account Settings to modify the default journal entry settings. Next, we will move on to From Customer menu. The path is Accounting 1, Cash In, From Customer menu. You can use this menu when the sales credit that was previously generated with a customer has been received from the customer. Or you can use it when you receive an advance payment before the actual sale is generated. Simply by entering each field that is displayed in the input screen, the amount entered in this menu will be automatically journalized with Accounts Receivable account, which makes it easier to enter your receipts in the program. So, firstly, set the voucher date as the date when you received the amount. Then enter a department or project code if you manage data by each department and project. And in Deposit Account field, enter the means of the receipt. For instance, you can enter your bank account, cash, or merchant account code. Then enter the sale customer and the received amount. And one thing to note is that after entering the customer, if you click Function button on the right side, you can verify the receivable balance of the corresponding customer. Then enter fees and remarks, if any. And after entering each field, click Save or Save and Print to save the entered data. So Save button will save the voucher, and Save and Print button will save the voucher and at the same time display the preview screen, just like in the other menus. And you can print out the preview screen and export it in PDF. And in From Customer menu, you can also use Print Deposit Slip function. So please note. And moving on to the third menu, we will discuss Accounting 1, Cash, Cash In, from Merchant Account menu. So after sales on card or online sales are generated, the amounts will be accumulated to each card company or payment gateway. Then later, when the corresponding card company or PG company deposits the total amount for settlement, you can enter the deposit in this menu. For example, I will enter a settlement from a card company. I will assume that out of $1,000 of sales on card, $970 have been deposited after deducting card company fees of $30. So enter the date when the amount was deposited from your card company. And in Merchant Account field, enter the corresponding card company. Then you can see that the fee rate that you set up when registering the card company has been loaded. Then if you enter the deposited amount, based on the loaded fee rate, the fees amount will be automatically calculated. And if you did not set a particular fee rate in Merchant Account Setup menu, you can manually enter the corresponding fee rate each time you enter the voucher. And enter the bank account where you received the amount. And you can see that after entering only the deposited amount, the fees and the total sale amount have been automatically calculated by the program. And you can enter notes in remarks field. Then if you click Save and Print button, the data will be automatically journalized by other receivables account code that has been set up in Merchant Account Setup menu. And as for merchant accounts, fees will be journalized by Professional Service Fees account. However, for payment agencies, fees will be journalized by Accounts Payable account, which will offset the accounts payable amount to be generated by the invoice that you will later receive from the payment agency for service fees. And as mentioned, you can also enter the receipts from payment agencies by using this menu. And this time I will enter a voucher with a receipt from a payment agency. Set the voucher date and enter the payment agency in merchant account field. Then the fee rate and bank account that have been set up in payment agency setup menu will be loaded. Then enter the amount that was actually deposited in the bank account in Amount field. Then the program will automatically calculate fees amount and the total sale amount. So after entering each field, click Save and Print to verify the journal entry. In the screen, you can see that unlike with merchant account, not service fees account, but accounts payable account has been used for journal entry. The reason is that since each payment agency will issue an invoice for service fees, and if you enter the corresponding purchase invoice in the program, the fee amount will generate accounts payable amount with the corresponding payment agency. And accordingly, the program will offset the generated AP amount with the fees amount entered in this From Merchant Account menu. This is why the fees amount is journalized as accounts payable amount in this menu. And please note that you can also print out the preview screen or export it in PDF. Next, we will move on to bank loan menu. The menu path is Accounting 1, Cash, Cash In, Bank Loan menu. In this menu, you can enter the funds increased by bank loans, including long-term loans and short-term loans. In other words, when the money you borrowed from a bank has been deposited in your company's bank account, you can enter data in this menu. In order to enter data, firstly set the voucher date as the beginning date of the corresponding loan. And in Deposit Account field, enter the bank account where the borrowed money has been deposited. Then, in Bank field, select the loan account that you set up in Register Bank Account menu. In Register Bank Account menu, you can register your short-term and long-term loans by clicking New button and selecting the corresponding account code. So for loans whose period is shorter than a year, select Short-Term Loans account. And for the ones whose period is longer than a year, select Long-Term Loans account. Then in Total Loan field, enter the total loan amount. And if fees such as borrowing costs were deducted from the total loan amount, and if the remaining amount was deposited, enter the deducted charges in Fees field. And enter a department or project code if you manage your company's data by each department or project. Then, if you click Save and Print, you can view the journal entry. You can view the deposit of the amount you borrowed received into your bank account, and interest expenses, and the loan amount journalized as long-term loans account. And the reason why this Bank of America SME loan has been journalized as long-term loan is that in Register Bank Account menu, the corresponding loan is registered with long-term loans account. The program will pull the account set up for each bank account code and journalize the vouchers you enter with the corresponding account. So please note. And finally, we will discuss From Others menu. The path is Accounting 1, Cash, Cash In, From Others. So if cash has been increased from a reason other than the journal entry accounts of the other menus of Cash In module, you can use From Others menu and process the corresponding increase. You can manually assign the contra account, that is, credits account, for the increased cash. So firstly, set the voucher date as the date of the increase and enter the deposit account. Then enter who deposited the money in Customer Vendor field. Then enter the amount you received. And lastly, in Credit field, select the account code that corresponds to the reason of the increase of the amount you've entered. So for instance, I will assume that Eco Trading Company deposited this amount as an advance payment, and I will enter 2639 unearned revenues account. Then enter notes and remarks field. And after entering each field, click Save or Save and Print button. And Save and Print button will allow you to verify the previous screen. At the same time, the voucher is saved. And one thing to add is in From Others menu, for temporary cash increases, you do not need to enter a particular customer. For instance, You can enter interest on deposits by leaving customer vendor field blank. You can simply record the bank name in the right field. Then, enter the corresponding account. And you can save the voucher.